Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome to the weekly review special for week 12 of the Gaming Decathlon competition. This week, I saw a significant decrease in the score down to 3,608 points from 4,400, almost 4,500 a week ago, which is well short of the best round score, which was 4 weeks ago and right about 1,000 points higher. Current virtual best is at 43.83, also a significant drop from where we were a week ago, 52.58, but the all-time virtual best does go up by just over 100 points to 7,454 points, nearly 3/4 of the way to our goal. Now, the reason for the decrease was 2 new games beginning this week on the channel, both already making it into the scoring, replacing a couple of the retired games, and that's the reason for the drop. And it could have been more than it was, to be honest, but there was a couple games with pretty good weeks. Let's go ahead and break those down for you. So first up is Pro Cycling Manager 2019. The career mode continues to progress well, still early in the season, up to 288 points. That's a jump of about 70 from where we were at, so continuing to have success there and really happy with the early part of the season, especially this week with the finances. That was a real concern heading into this season. To get into the World Tour, we overpaid. We went beyond our budget by quite a margin, to where we're losing $100,000 every month. That's a lot of ground to cover, but our winnings last month, we're just about to the end of the month now, our winnings over the course of this month have almost equaled 100,000. So we're coming pretty close to actually breaking even for the month, which is the goal for however many months we can do that until next year we can draw a bit closer and not overspend by so much. In the Stage Racer, this is where the huge jump was, from 592 to 739, shattering our previous record. And that is because the Tour de France is now done. I finished in 4th place. Just missed the podium. Team's super pissed at me because they wanted a podium, and 4th place, missing it by a matter of seconds over the entire course of the race. They weren't happy, but whatever. Like I care. I got 4th place. It was a good result, and it came with a lot of points, and so now we sit at 739. And still a little ways to go, mostly just the Vuelta, but the kind of points that I could earn there could potentially see us hit maybe 900 for the season, which is going to be a heck of a total. We're definitely not going to get to that 1,000 mark, but we could hit easily 850 or maybe 900, and that's going to be pretty good heading into next season, because next season I think I'm going to be the favorite to win some titles. In Football Manager 20, the Zero to Hero series, nearly to the end of the season, 217 points, new record. We're still going up. We're not there yet. We're not at a competitive level, so that's why the score remains so low. But I really love that series, so I'm going to plug it again. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's a really, really fun series. Tier 10 of the English pyramid, all the way at the bottom, working our way to the top, but with some fun challenges to it. Be sure to check it out. If you haven't heard the details, go see episode 1 and you'll find them there. You can find that on my main page. Out of the Park Baseball 21, new game, just premiered over the last few days. Hammering out some episodes, and that's like the Zero to Hero series, but not from 10th tier, but from the worst team, the team that has struggled the most over the last 2 decades, the Seattle Mariners. In all of American professional sports, all the main leagues in the U.S., no team has gone longer without a playoff appearance than the Seattle Mariners. 2001 was the last time they made the playoffs. They've done nothing since that time. They've had 4 or 5 90-plus win seasons. I think it's 4. I think the other one was like 88, 89 wins over that stretch. never enough to make the playoffs, always coming up just short in those seasons. And then the rest of the time, it's been below 500 year in, year out. One of their biggest problems is they've never been the worst team. They've been one of the worst teams. And so they've never picked up that top draft pick, that top talent who ends up being a superstar. And so over the last 19 years, outside of Felix Hernandez, they haven't been able to bring in anyone new. We've had a few big stars that came in other ways, but not via the draft. And that's the team that we're trying to bring from the bottom to the top, worst to first. Rebel Inc. retired. Farming Simulator 19, there's the other new one this week, and it debuted a bit earlier in the week. It's not a new game, it's been out for a while. It is a new series, and for the first time, I've brought multiple generations of my family into the series, taking a game that other generations of my family enjoy. My father and my nephew are joining me for that series. And I put an interesting twist on it. It's a regular FS19 type series on a modded map, the Pacific Northwest to be exact. But with all the talk, all the chatter, and everyone sitting at home because of the coronavirus, I've gone ahead and tied the scenario into the coronavirus, more as a hook than anything. But it gives us a talking point for the series, and it makes it interesting. It keeps it going. Also, because of that series, I've brought a new feature into the channel that I'm already starting to utilize into other series. Out of the Park, now PCM 19 Career Mode. Next week we'll start to feature this, but I'm using time-lapse. I've picked up some background music, tested out some background music. I've had to re-upload a few videos for things that were supposed to be royalty-free, copyright-free, but ended up having copyright tied to it anyway, and so I've had to reevaluate. I've had to remove a handful of songs, but I think I have about 9 different songs that have all cleared and worked and are useful. So I'm adding background music into some of my videos, my edited videos anyway. So PCM 19, Out of the Park, and FS should feature that a bit more. The other series, Zero to Hero, I think I could very well have a Zero to Hero, except for the way that series works is it's long breaks in between recording little chunks. So maybe once or twice there could be something. Occasionally with background music, but not as much in that series. 0 points to start out, and we actually are quite a few episodes in already, but the reason why we're at 0 points is because it's a little bit of a slower start. The scenario is start from scratch, so we're playing the hard mode, and so we're started with nothing but a small amount of money. We've built up some equipment. We have no fields yet, and that's the main reason for no points. Fields, the farm, and massive amounts of money, $1 billion, the ultimate target, are the way to score the points in that series. The fields are going to be where we start to earn some points, and we're close. So as we enter next week, we should have 1, 2, or more fields, and maybe even the first farm structures being built. Once we manage to do that, then the points will start to accumulate. Draft Day Sports Pro Basketball, still at the end of the season. We're doing some off-season stuff this week, so 224 points. Founder's Fortune, surprise ending. I thought I was going to be going for a while into that series, and then I hit a massive roadblock that really, really created a problem. The goblins, the trolls, whatever you want to call them, they were easy enough for me to handle. They were getting tougher and they were attacking more frequently, and I was having some issues with recovering from those battles and definitely needing to upgrade our defenses, our weaponry, our armor that I was working on. But I entered another phase of the game unknowingly, something that I wasn't even aware was in the game, and it was my fault that I entered that phase of the game, but I didn't know until after. I started putting down structures to make a brewery. It turns out that the moment you do that, you open the floodgates for a new enemy to face. That enemy being pirates. And because I wasn't complete on that process, I didn't have any beer yet. Because I didn't have any beer, they attacked me and wiped me out. Just absolutely wiped me out. I only ended up with a few characters surviving, and then I was coming under constant attack from the goblins who were very mad at me. And now that I was suddenly down to just a few characters, injured characters at that, they had their way with me, and so the series came to an abrupt end as we got our butts handed to us. I like the game. I enjoy the game. I will pick it up again and play it some more, and once we're a few more updates down the road, I'll probably bring it back. I do plan to do that series again. I do enjoy it. The only problem is it wasn't a huge audience, and it's probably not going to be a huge audience until it gets to full release, and even then it might not. So we'll see on when I bring that back. That's one factor that goes into it. But as for personal enjoyment, I like the game, and I want to play it some more. Broken Lions was another fun one that did really well. It's done. It's retired. So another game will be filling that void before too long. And finally, FM20, the regular series, the Swansea City series, championship, made it to the playoffs with a team that's fairly mediocre and had a lot of overpaid veterans that are stuck, really eating up a lot of salary, a lot of the team's budget. They could be doing better otherwise. We get all the way to the promotion playoffs, and then things just fell apart. The first leg should have gone better, didn't. And the second leg was a disaster zone. I ended up with so many top players of mine ineligible to play. Yellow card accumulation, injuries, red card stuff. And we ended up with just coming so close. And we bounced back and we fought back, and then it didn't pan out. So we were eliminated in the promotion playoffs, ending our hopes, and it's going to end the series because there really just aren't that many views coming out from this one. So I'm hoping to keep the Zero to Hero series running for a while to slowly rebuild some interest. And when FM21 comes out, hopefully a regular series there, which will again be in the championship as I failed to get promoted. We'll do a bit better that next time, and will give me a better chance for success the next time around, because I'd like to get to the Premier League and play from there and play for something. On the all-time virtual best side, the big mover this week was PCM 19, the stage racer, that Tour de France result. Took it from 11th place, just outside of the top 10, jumping all the way to 4th place on the list. So, massive gain there. Massive move. I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen one move that far up the list in a single week. It goes 2 points clear of its partner in crime, the Career Mode series. And it's going to be a while before Career Mode sees that change. The Stage Racer one, still, season's not done. So I have a feeling I'll move above EU4 into the top 3, into a podium place. And we'll see. Rebel Inc., maybe, maybe not before the end of the year. But the key thing here is that in the top 5, 3 of them are PCM. It's clearly my top game. And EU4, my all-time favorite game, makes perfect sense that that's in the top 5 as well. The Rebel Inc., that's another story. That was a fan favorite for me. I only enjoyed that game for a short while. I was really ready to move on, but I kept it going as fan service, and ended up with a pretty good score on that one, but I was more than happy to set that aside when it came time. The other games on the list in the top 10 all slide down a spot. Broken Lines, now retired, so I'm down to just 2 games that are active, but the funny thing was I had 2 active games since Stage Racer was 11th, so it bumped out that other game. Now, outside of the top 10, no real movement here. 12th is still FM, and it's going to be retired, so I'm going to have something else. Founder's Fortune also retiring, so Both of those games are going to disappear off the list. Neither one of them moved. The game that's now on the list, with Stage Racer moving on to the top 10, is that Zero to Hero series. It's way down in 33rd. It actually did move up with a small increase, 6 points more than it had, but only by 1 spot, so it was 34th, now 33rd. Pretty irrelevant at this point, as it's well down the order. So I'm suddenly going from a lot of high-scoring games that are in or around the top 10 to suddenly I just have a couple, and then there's a massive, massive drop-off from there to the other games that are active on the channel, at least from next week on with those 2 retirements. So top 2, both on the list, and then third at the moment is that FM20 Zero to Hero, or at least as of next week, like I said, and that's only 217 points. So that's going to affect our overall scores. It's going to be hard to see top scores there for a while. The Stage Racer will help because I still have at least a few weeks, or a couple weeks at least, until we reach the end of the season and reset down to 0. And in the meantime, the career mode should, pick up 400, 500 points by that point. And so it'll kind of help boost that back up and keep that score around. But with these retirement games, as those get replaced, and here in about 2 weeks, I'll have 2 games coming out onto the channel. So those 2 recent retirements, Rebel Inc., Broken Lines, will both have their scores replaced in about 2 weeks, meaning by then, by about 2 weeks from now, my overall score could be pretty low. On that all-time virtual best side, one more thing though, as we did increase the score, we have achieved some new records. We moved up 2 spots from 77th to 75th, so we're into the top 75 now. The 2 nations' top scores that we passed, Fiji and the Philippines. From Fiji, it's Albert Miller. From the Philippines, it's Aris Toledo. Aris Toledo is a special landmark for me. Reason being, not only have I visited the Philippines, but my wife is from the Philippines originally. I did not meet her there. I met her while we were both teaching overseas, or at least she was working overseas. I was teaching overseas. And yeah, so that was a special landmark to pass. We're approaching another natural landmark, 7,500 being that mark. And Stage Racer, I think, will probably push us over that mark maybe next week or the week after. But I'm Decathlon Gamer. That's going to do it for this review special. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good week. Be safe out there. Definitely check out those new series. And if you still have not seen it, if you're interested in the sport, soccer, or if you just like sports management games, do check out that FM20 Zero to Hero series, as it is my personal favorite of the projects that I'm working on right now, and I'd really like to keep it going for a while, but it's going to need a few more views, a few more likes on there. Have a good one. Bye for now.